Good morning and happy Monday. Tracy here. Believe it or not, it has been a full year of me recording my grocery hauls on YouTube. So now is the time to go over my numbers. I've tried to be as transparent as I possibly can. I post every week. I post my totals and show you what we are eating here in Nova Scotia. Now, before I get into my actual numbers, it's important to realize how regional grocery prices are. Um, Not only just with like an exchange rate between different countries, but just how different things are priced. So, to give you a little bit of a ballpark of how the average Canadian is doing, according to Google, I went and looked up two different reports and then I did an informal Facebook poll. So, Canada's food price report, I think, comes out every year and it gives you like a sort of a percentage change. It kind of tells you like grocery inflation through the year and gives you an amount of what a family of four would spend on groceries. So, Canada's food price report said a family of four in Canada would spend an average of $16,297 on groceries in 2024. That comes out to $4,074 per person per year, or $11.16 per person per day. I then found a report from Canada's Food Guide. I believe this was put out by Dalhousie University. And it subdivided everyone into categories by age and sex. Thought this was a little more accurate because everyone's family is made up differently. So I'll put that little infographic up here. So according to this chart, we are myself and my husband, we're in our early 40s. We have a 12-year-old boy, and then we have boy-girl twins who are 8. So according to this chart, our total monthly cost of groceries is $1,494. I also did an informal Facebook poll just on a Nova Scotia page and then a local community page. And of my respondents, they averaged $340 per person per month. So now let's get into my numbers. For the month of October, we came in at $591.08. We started out really strong that month. My very first week of October, I spent $250 almost. However, I was able to rein it in throughout the month and give us back slightly under budget, but there was just some really good deals at the first week of October. September was a low spend month. I came in at $413.14. We had a lot of produce coming in from the garden. I was getting a little bit overwhelmed, so I was trying not to buy too much stuff in excess. Anyone who does any sort of gardening and canning, I canned, I believe, every day in August and every day in September. And for most of those days, almost every single flat surface in my kitchen and dining room was covered in food at one point. So I tried to dial back the grocery budget a little bit just to give myself some breathing room so I was not so overwhelmed. August was slightly over budget. We were at $696. We did a lot of school snacks in August. A lot of granola bars and things were on sale, but those will probably take us into Christmas. So a little bit extra spent, but once again, we're buying things on sale and keeping them so we're not paying full price for items. July was under budget again. We were at $512.27. I did a lot of low cook meals in July. That's both because we were doing a lot of garden work and also just you don't really want to be running the oven. So a little more snack foods. We were kind of sandwich based. And then, so I just didn't have to spend as much on groceries. June was a big spend month. We were at $801.34. That was mostly because I did a bunch of freezer meals up in June. I think I did something like 60 freezer meals. Those got us through July, August, and partway through September. I was so grateful for the freezer meals in September because when you spend a whole day canning, the last thing you want to do is cook supper, and just be able to throw in a homemade lasagna was amazing. So I will do that every June, I think. Big spend, but it was buying stuff for the future, making it into meals to save myself not just money, but time. July and August, I am here full time with the kids every day. So I would much rather spend my day going to the beach than cooking. So May, we had an unintentional low spend month. I just wasn't being able to get to stores like I'd like. So I did miss out on a few deals, but then I spent less money. So we had some car issues. They have since been repaired, but yeah, it was just a transportation issue. And so we came in at 438.05 for the month of May. April was an average month. We were at 633.46. March, we were at 527.51. They had a good deal on flour in March. I did a big step on flour, and I believe sugar was on sale that month as well. February is our highest spend month of the year for two reasons. There was a big haddock sale. So I spent, I feel like I spent almost $100 on haddock. And then we also got our side of pork from a friend of ours, and that was $450. So our total in February was $985.67. January was a low spend month. I was trying to get my budget in under half. So that would have been $325 for the month. We did exceed that. I came in at $243. My husband broke his ankle on the day before Christmas Eve. He had surgery Christmas Eve. So I really reined in my spending in January because I did not know financially how our future was going to look for the next little while. I'm glad I did because it was the end of March before he was actually back to work. So being able to rely on our pantry for that month was super, super helpful. December, I do usually allocate a couple extra $100 because we like a lot of treat food in December for Christmas time, for holiday gifts or holiday parties and things. And for us, that generally means seafood. I don't buy seafood all the time, so I like to go a little nuts in December. So our total for December was $719.03. November, way back in November when I made my first YouTube grocery haul video, I think my video was on November 7th, 2023. My total for that month was $542.64. So if we go through and add everything up, my full year of groceries was $7,103.19. That works out to $591.93 per month for all of us, or $118.37 per person per month, or $3.89 per person per day. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. Sometimes my brain gives up. So that includes food, beverages, toiletries, cleaning supplies, toilet paper, all that kind of stuff. The only thing I don't include in this is gifts. Even if it's things like I would buy for the kids for Christmas, like pantry, I always do a special cereal for Christmas. It's one of everyone's favorite gifts because it's something they don't usually get. So I don't include that in my grocery budget because it is a gift. My husband, maybe once a month we'll go get a slice of pizza at work. I don't include that in this budget. It's maybe $5 to $10 a month, but he just takes that out of his discretionary spending. And we do very little takeout. Almost all our meals are from scratch. I would say 90+% of it is from scratch. We spend maybe $20 to $30 a month on takeout, and usually not even every month. I'd say we maybe go out once every 2 months. We might get takeout, and usually when we do takeout, we just go get French fries or a couple of ice creams or something small and just split it between us. So if we come back to our reports, so the Canada's Food Price Report, if we compare their average Canadian cost for groceries and compare ours, I come under 65.2% less than what the Canada Food Price Report. The Canada Food Guide one there where it was categorized by age and sex, we come at 60.4% decrease in our grocery budget. And if you go by our informal Facebook poll, we are at 65.2% less than the average Nova Scotia spends on groceries. So to put those into numbers, we're looking at a potential savings of over $13,000 a year just for our family for groceries. To see that number is actually a bit shocking to me. I didn't realize it was quite that big, but that's paying off your mortgage early. That's a down payment for a house. That's paying off your car. So saving the money on groceries up front really can make a huge difference in your monthly budget and your amount that you're able to save. Year of doing this, I've definitely learned some things. I've definitely made some improvements in my own grocery budget along the way. And going forward, I think I might start breaking things down into categories and maybe doing some videos on how to save in each grocery category. I might also do some videos on how to save money in other areas. Okay, so I just ran my numbers for the last 6 months and in my different categories. So the categories I broke it down into is meat and fish, uh, produce, so that's fresh and frozen, bread and cereal, dairy, so milk, cream, yogurt, cheese, cream cheese, all that kind of stuff. Pantry items, that can be flour, sugar, pasta, peanut butter, any canned goods we buy, that sort of thing. Treat food, so granola bars, crackers, chips, anything processed that comes in a box, really. Butter and oil, I put in its own category. That's one of the categories I found was lacking when I did my pantry challenge back in January. So I have been kind of keeping track of it as its own category. More to see just what we use in a year. But I think going forward, I might roll this into dairy. But butter and oil, convenience items. This is basically anything you can buy in a freezer package or like ready to eat meals. So like rotisserie chicken. Sometimes we'll do sushi. Once in a while, we might get something like chicken nuggets. I was buying the frozen French fries from Gateway, but I found they changed the fry isn't as good as it used to be. But that sort of thing. Frozen items, basically frozen convenience meals or fresh convenience meals, ready to eat. Toiletries, so that includes cleaning supplies, toilet paper, shampoo, all that kind of stuff. And then this isn't a category I usually have much of, but I did allow myself some things over the summer. So we have a beverages category. So the last 6 months, my biggest category has been meat. We spent 32.1% of our budget in the meat category. This does make sense to me, and I'm pretty sure that's probably what it is across the board. I'd say it might even be a little bit higher than that. Produce came at 19.9%. Keep in mind, I do grow a lot of our own produce. So if I didn't have the garden, I think that would probably be quite a bit higher. Bread and cereal came in at 12.8% of our budget. Dairy is our next biggest category. We're at 18.4%. Pantry items, 16.4%. Treats came in at 14.7%. That's higher than I thought it would be, and that's maybe something we can work on a little bit. Butter and oil came in at 3.9%. Convenience foods came in at 2%. Toiletries was 4.2%, and beverages 3.1%. I also think we can do a little work on that category as well. So even spending 65% less than the average Canadian, we have a well-stocked pantry with lots of different foods. If you're interested in seeing that, I will probably be doing an updated pantry tour in about 2 weeks. So my 2024 post-harvest pantry tour. I did one last year in 2023 when I first started documenting my grocery hauls. And I also did one pre-harvest just to see how much stuff comes through this place in the summer. So I'm pretty pleased with our year of grocery shopping here. I think there are some room for improvement, but overall, I'm very happy with how things are going. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this interesting or you think you might find some great tips in the future, please feel free to like, subscribe, or leave a comment on my video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a good day. Bye. Hello. I wish you could just talk for me. You're much cuter than me. Okay, can you get down, baby?